Hello, hello. Today we are going to be installing some lower door speakers. I have some tweeters for the front too, and a subwoofer that I was going to try mounting in the original spot, but I'm not getting to that today. Today I'm just doing the door speakers. So first what you're going to want to do is you need a little plastic trim tool, and you're going to want to take out this that is around your door lock buttons. I think it's easier to go in from the bottom like that. Yeah. Alright. And then you're going to have 3 T25 screws, and they're all in there at like a weird angle, so I found since they're not torqued very hard, I just use a T20, and that gives me a little bit extra of an angle on them, so I can actually get in them, get them better. That one's loose, and then there's one right up there. Okay, and then there's one more down here. There's a little spot for one, but there's not actually one there. You want the little spot that's in the front, right under your gas release and your trunk open thing. That one just fell out of there. So first I'm going to take this plastic trim tool, put it down here between the door and the door panel. Should just hear it pop like that. And come over here to the middle. If you can find it, it's a little farther over. You just want to be careful not to break any of the clips. And there we go. That feels like all the clips off. And then now, just going to lift and kind of go that way a little bit towards the camera. And then here's the door handle hook. And this one actually didn't come out. And then there is one plug on this side. Pull that up. I'm gonna I have a little moving blanket set out, and I'm gonna just sit that down there like that so it doesn't get all scraped up. I might have made that mistake on the other side, but we will ignore my mistakes and learn from them. Anyways, so yeah, there's 3 T25 screws around this, and that one we can't actually fit a T25 in, and then we're also going to remove this so we can get sound deadening behind the in the cavity. Just going on right here. And actually what I'm going to go ahead and do first is I'm going to unplug this connector. You just squeeze these two prongs together and pull up. Pretty self-explanatory. Alright. And then we're going to want to undo this plastic plug right there. So ideally you have one of these things with a little fork on it and you can just pop it out. I lost mine, and since I'm not reusing this speaker, I'm just going to use a claw hammer or framing hammer, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just going to be careful not to break it. And there we go. Okay, next what we're going to do is we're going to clean that all up. Anything we're going to seal against or put adhesive on, I'm going to clean with some lovely shop towel and isopropyl alcohol, rubbing alcohol. So next up on the list, we're going to pop this little plug out of there. That was really easy. And then we're going to take this off and be very careful not to break all the pins. These little indentations, that's where it uses it to line it up. And then these are all what's actually holding it in. And then we can also take that little rubber thing off there. Be careful not to break. Oh, well, somebody was in here too, because that little alignment thing is missing. I was feeling for it, so I wanted to break it, and it was already gone. Yeah, usually there's a big, oh, there it is. It's kind of one of them's kind of hanging on. That was not me. That was already like that. Probably something else that was making a vibration. It doesn't matter too much. Speaker. And then we're going to do our sound deadening. So first up for speaker prep, we are going to clip this little guy off. And in case I ever want to reuse this plug again, I am going to say that I'm going to leave a little hair on there, just so I could get a crimp connector on it or something. Don't have to repin it. Okay, so that's there. Now, go ahead and strip this off. Both at once. Like that. That's perfect. Plastic thing. And this is like the other side. Yeah, it is. We're gonna snap these. They're like made to snap off. These extra little tabs. And technically we only needed that one. But because it was hitting this little ridge right there, and we're just gonna put this foam strip all around the border so it can seal against that. Now, sorry on those white settings. Let's see what I'm doing. And that looks pretty good to me. You can see that little foam strip all the way around. And there's one last thing we got to do to prep these before we crimp them on. That is take our little wiry guy. There's a small quick connect and a big quick connect, and then on here there is a big one and a small one. So that one on the big one, and I'm going to put that one on the small one. I've had a box of this kill mat laying around for I don't know how long. So that's what I'm choosing to use. And there's no real rhyme or reason to this. You just kind of putting some on the outside, some on the inside. I like to knock around, see where the hollow spots are, and put sound deadening there. And it's better to put it in big sheets if you can. But yeah, and then also when we do sound deadening, I'm going to wait till the speaker's installed, but I'm going to put a strip of sound deadening around here, and then I'm also going to put some sound deadening on the door panel, and I'm going to make sure that's really sound deadened up because that foam sheet's missing, and I don't want anything from that. So I'm going to come right there. Okay. All right. So now, put it on this. Score it every so often. So what I'm hoping happens is with those little scores I made, that'll kind of flower out around the speaker and make a seal. Here's the old one. Let's see. Like that. Hoping that's what happens. But I guess there's only one way to find out. Time to do the install. Just like that. So we got that on there like that. A little red spot for a little red spot. And just like that. Perfect. Make sure it's good, don't pull too hard. So the footage cut out there for a second. All I did was I put these 3 screws in there after I got it mounted up, made sure that there's no gaps in that, and then I just crimped that on there. Like that. Nice and flat, not perpendicular to itself, so you don't uncrimp anything. But now I was going to test the speaker, make sure it was working. So, blinding. And it works. So now I'm gonna go ahead and go around, turn my volume up. Like, look for any vibrations. Something's vibrating around here. There's that. Okay, so that was vibrating. I'm just gonna go ahead and look for any vibrations. This whole module is vibrating. I don't think there's really anything I'm going to be able to do about that. Okay, so now I was just doing some more testing with the vibrations and stuff. I think it's about as good as I'm getting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little guy. Oh no. On the other side that would reach. Yeah. It reaches. We'll just make it work. There we go. And there's two little zip ties. And we're gonna take that guy and zip it right there. Pull some extra wire through so there's not a lot of tension on those crimps. They have enough free play in there. Snip those nice and flush. Basically, I just wanted to make sure those wires don't rub against that motor. So that all seems fine. Now I'm going to grab me a little bit more sound deadening. Okay, so my video kept cutting out because I'm out of storage on my phone, but I deleted some stuff. So all I did, I got that all tidied up and crimped together, put some extra sound deadening all around that, a little bit more sound deadening down there. Now I'm going to put this thingy back on and for the door panel back on, and should be all set. I've done some more testing, make sure there's no more vibrations, and yeah, should be all good after that. First you're going to grab your little hook, and then you're going to kind of pinch that and pull that back into that. Now I'm gonna put this end in first, you can kind of slot it in like that. I'd say kind of. Okay, and then we got this little guy. Push that in there. So, we have our door hook, and we have this little white slot and the hook. And the way that goes back on is, where's the door handle? Okay, so that little white slot is going to go into that slot right there. And then we're just going to put our hook on that. And sometimes what can help while you're putting the door on is to hold this door handle like that. So then it holds more tension on it and it doesn't want to pop back out. That, and then this, we have to put that back in the same as it came out. So that's open. So we're going to press it in like that, and while putting pressure on it, we're going to slowly bring that down until that clicks into that little slot. First, take the plug. And in there like that. Now it's in there, put pressure on it. While we pull up. That's so perfect. Then take our hook. So I'm probably going to cut a lot of that out. One of these rings, the rings that holds the door on, fell out, and I was fighting it the whole time. The door handle still works. Yeah. So now, all we got left is to put our screws back in, and it should be all good. Yeah, I was going to outside of the door handle to show I cut it off. Yeah, it's not. Let's take down. There's a phone in the bolts. Take your little cover and put it back on. Just like that.